The road to WrestleMania has begun. It is here, and we started with the big one. Royal Rumble. 30 men, 30 women, 2 different matches. Who won? We'll tell you.
Where do we start? Let's start on the pre-show. Both matches on the pre-show I thought were pretty good. First match was the U.S. Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev.
Let's talk about that for a second. You know, I follow What Culture WWE on YouTube. Yes, they're great. And I remember they actually posted a video about the U.S. title. And I feel like the U.S. title being on the pre-show is symbolic about how much they care about that title at the current moment. I remember, you know, if you remember the WCW days, that was a very glorified title. When it came over to WWE after the invasion, another good title. At one point, I thought it was probably more important than the Intercontinental title. I thought they were pushing it more, but now here we are.
It's a straight mid-card title.
Wow.
I mean, even the IC title is now just a straight mid-card title.
IC title, yeah. Like what?
I mean, it's not like it used to be where you have big-name superstars battling it out.
I mean, if The Rock wasn't holding the WWE Championship, he could go for the Intercontinental, or Kurt Angle, or Triple H, or whoever. I think the mid-card titles need bigger push, but let's talk about this time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Shinsuke won it.
Wow. He did. After a distraction from Lana, and Rusev went to take out Shinsuke. Shinsuke moved out of the way, and Rusev knocked Lana off the ring apron.
Messed her ankle up.
And she appeared to hurt herself when she landed. Further distracted Rusev, and Shinsuke was able to hit the Kinshasa for the win. Yeah,
and there you have it with that. I mean, like I said, you know, following. Obviously not even on the main show. But what are you going to do? On to the next.
Next match on the pre-show was the Cruiserweight belt, Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy taking on Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, and Hideo Itami.
Yeah, and Hideo Itami actually was released from WWE, actually.
I saw that today. The last couple of days. It's quite surprising.
Caught me off guard, actually. I mean, there's a lot of talent there on 205 Live. There's a lot of talent there. Again, not as surprised that this was on the pre-show, but still, a lot of talent, a good show.
It was a great match, a lot of great spots. These guys hitting their signature moves, their finishers. But ultimately, Buddy Murphy walked away in the end, keeps his title.
So,
moving on to the main show. We'll start with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
All right.
Great build to this match. Personally, I like the matchup, and I think the right people won over. A lot of back and forth, but at the end of the match, The Miz and Shane emerged victorious.
How?
Co-besties, co-best in the world, now co-tag team champions.
I will say, this does tie in, you know, the greatest Royal Rumble, or not the greatest Royal Rumble, the show they did in Saudi Arabia just recently, where Shane McMahon won that trophy, and I remember people were like, why is he winning this? He's not the greatest in the world. That's stupid.
He ended up interjecting himself.
Here he is winning the tag team titles, so hey, take it what you will. They're building on that storyline. They're at least keeping it together. So I'm excited to see what happens. I think, honestly, they're going to set up a match between Shane and The Miz at WrestleMania. That's my guess. I think it would be a great match.
It would be an interesting turn of events. Have them turn on each other.
Yeah,
one turn on the other.
It would be interesting.
To see what happens.
Even more crazier. What if it's tag team champion versus tag team champion? They still have the belts, but they end up having a match.
So, and as we saw last night on SmackDown, the Usos are the new #1 contender.
So
there could be the setup. You know, if the Usos somehow take the belts back, something happens in that match, one blames the other for the loss, and it starts that feud. It's a good jump start.
Again, it would be a great match. I would love to see it. I think The Miz is one of the better, more I'm not going to say undervalued. I'm not going to even say underrated because I think it goes without being said how good he is. Maybe underutilized, maybe is what could be said. I think he should probably be more in the championship picture more often. But I think The Miz is one of the better wrestlers on SmackDown. And again, Shane McMahon, we see what he does. He has balls. He's not afraid to do the crazy stunts, going from coast to coast between the ring or jumping from the top of a cell. Yep. Who knows? I think it'd be a hell of a match at WrestleMania, though.
It could be. It could very well
I don't know. A little bit of foreshadowing. Yeah, we're going to find out.
Yep. All right, moving on. A Raw Women's Championship. The baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, and the boss, Sasha Banks.
I'm not surprised by the finish of that match. I'm not surprised in the least bit. I think Ronda Rousey, honestly, in my opinion, Ronda Rousey's probably, you can't have Sasha Banks beat Ronda. I don't think it's possible, me personally. This is just my opinion. Yeah. You go from Ronda Rousey, who's probably one of the most savage fighters in the UFC, pound for pound, going to the WWE, it's a no-brainer for me, at least, honestly.
And again, the right person went over in this match. It was what was best for business, and they both took their shots, took their hits, and in the end, the baddest woman on the planet,
still the baddest woman.
Moving on, SmackDown Women's Title, Asuka and the man, Becky Lynch.
Yep, this caught me off guard because I expected Becky Lynch to definitely win. I don't know, something told me, I'm like, Becky's going to win this. This is the perfect spot for her to do it, but no.
And by the way, quick happy birthday shout out. Today is Becky Lynch's 32nd birthday.
Today is January, as we are filming, January 30th. So, yeah.
WWE title match. The new Daniel Bryan versus the phenomenal AJ Styles.
And this is a match that we've seen a couple of times here, but it's exciting either way. Eric Rowan, where did you come from, bro? Like, what? Where did that come from? That caught me off guard a little bit, but I'm interested to see how this works. If you didn't watch SmackDown this week, they presented the new hemp title belt. Actually, we're going to post it actually right there. It actually looks pretty cool, honestly. Me personally, I think it looks awesome. I think it's kind of dope. I mean, yeah. But no, it's cool as hell.
It's just like the belt, it's just made out of hemp and wood.
I'm like, how did you guys come up with this? Like, seriously, like, that is awesome. But no, I'm not. I know this feud is far from over. But yeah, I definitely think AJ got screwed in this one, honestly. Yeah, definitely. I don't like it. But what are you gonna do?
I mean, I think he's done a lot of interesting things with this gimmick, and he's brought a lot to it.
Yeah.
Being that
it's refreshing.
It is.
It's something I've never seen. It's something new. And one thing I talk from a standpoint of I'm on the internet all the time, a lot of wrestling blogs, and I follow a lot of wrestling pages, and they want something new, and this is new. This is exciting. I mean, it's like Daniel Bryan, first off, he's back when he was told he would never wrestle again.
Yep.
Kind of a situation similar to what Edge had. And we were all brokenhearted about it. But here he is in 2019 holding up a hemp title belt. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's surprising. It caught me off guard. I remember actually because at the end of Royal Rumble, and we'll talk about it. I'm not sure if you saw it. They had a special about WrestleMania, last year's WrestleMania, actually.
I did catch that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to talk a little about that, but in it, they talked, they showed Daniel Bryan coming out to the ring and saying he's not going to wrestle again, and how he came back and wrestled again. Like, that was awesome. Like, but, yeah, I don't know where we're going with this hemp title belt, but.
It's going to be interesting to say the least. Moving on. The Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the single most disappointing ending.
Very disappointing.
To a match on the card.
But
the pay-per-view was really good up till this match.
Yeah.
So many people wanted to see Finn go over and reclaim that title, which he never lost in the first.
I'm not going to lie, the pay-per-view leading up, because we're obviously not detailing the matches in order of how they went, but the Women's Royal Rumble was before the championship title matches. So it was like the championship title matches were sandwiched in between. And again, we're going to talk about that, but I remember, watching the crowd during the SmackDown Championship match, and I was like, dude, they're dry. I remember even texting you about it. I'm like, dude, like, it's gone flat. Like, the air is out of the building. What's going on? And I think, and this is something we haven't had a lot of time to do, But talking about the Universal title belt, I think, they're trying to go for the route of replacing the big gold belt, I think, with the Universal title belt. That's honest my opinion. But it's not getting the pop and the push that they expected because you're putting it on a part-time champion.
Yeah, who's never there, never defensive.
Ever. And you have guys like Finn Balor. I will say this. People said a lot about Roman Reigns, and, hope he's at home getting better, and one day we'll see him soon. Apparently he's going to be in a movie, but that's a different story for a different episode.
His cousin, The Rock's younger brother.
Yeah, that's crazy. Awesome. So, yes, he's definitely probably getting better.
Man.
But it's almost like diminished the title's validity, even from its inception, where Triple H virtually handed the belt to Kevin Owens, after Finn Balor went out on injury. And since then, it's been in the hands virtually most of the time it's been around in Brock Lesnar, who's only comes around for the big, 4 pay-per-views. He's not there every month, and you got guys like Roman Reigns who are there night in, night out. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, who might be out the door. Guys that are there, Finn Balor, who bust their ass, and they get nothing for it. I will say for this match, watching it, now the audience was definitely not in the match. Mm-hmm. But me personally, as a big Finn Balor fan, Finn Balor looks strong. Because everybody that's gone against Brock Lesnar, including Roman Reigns, has got bodied.
Yep.
John Cena, bodied. Randy Orton, busted wide open. Mm-hmm. And Finn Balor went out there and he fought his ass off. He got his ass kicked at the end. But he fought his ass off. And at one point, he almost won.
He did. Managed to hit the sling blade and hit the coup de grace. We all thought that was it.
That was it.
He was going to pin Brock, and that was it. But Brock somehow managed to turn it into the Chimera
like
lock.
Muscle memory, man. Like, what?
And the boos were so loud in that stadium. Yeah. After he tapped out and Brock was announced as the winner, just the boos were definite.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like... My thing is, and I get it, Brock Lesnar is a legitimate threat. But I don't know.
And what gets me about that is a couple of weeks back on Raw, saw Vince and Shane and Stephanie and Triple H in the ring come out and say they're giving the fans the authority. They're going to give the fans what they want. People starting to listen to the fans. And then they pull this shit, which they know the fans don't want.
No.
They still do.
They still do it.
They just wonder if they're really listening to the fans or just doing what they think is best for business.
Yeah, I think they're just doing what they personally think is best for business. I've been watching the climate of the wrestling world as a whole, and I'm really going to be watching WWE, especially in the next 6 months, because for those of you that may not know, AEW, a new wrestling company, has been brewing, and they have the likes of Chris Jericho. Yeah. They are pulling guys from Ring of Honor, guys from the Indies, big underground fans. Cody Rhodes is there, and he's a big part of the lead organization, and you hear things about Dean Ambrose leaving. That caught my interest. It's like Dean Ambrose is not... Yeah, Hideo Itami. Another name that could go to a company like AEW. And again, it's almost like... I'm not trying to hype it up, but it's almost like the Monday Night Wars 2.0.
Yep.
It could become that if they get a good TV deal. Obviously, people were like, oh, TNA could have been that, but TNA was nowhere near on the level as WWE. But you have a bunch of guys from WWE going over there, big names, indie names, that are going to bring a lot of attention, a lot of internet star power, and they could be a legitimate threat. Yep. So I'm curious to see how guys like Finn Balor after WrestleMania, if they stick around. A guy like Finn Balor would be a star in a new company.
Yep.
With new direction, I mean... Again, when you have a company ran by Brock Lesnar virtually, not a lot of guys are going to stick around and get their ass kicked week in and week out, or month in and month in, whenever the hell he decides to show up. You're just paying him a bunch of money to carry a big-ass red belt for nothing. So I'm really interested in what happens in the next 6 months. I'm going to say 6 months. What guys leave, which guys stay, because there's always an influx or exodus of people after WrestleMania. People coming in, people going out. And it's going to be really interesting which people leave and which people stay.
And it's a threat because security at the events is making WWE fans remove AEW shirts. And it happened at the Royal Rumble.
Yep. There was a video, actually, of a kid in the front row. Yep. And he had an AEW shirt, and security made him take it off. And it was like, whoa, like, they're worried.
That's pretty serious right there.
They're worried. That's some old school WCW, WWF shit right there. Yep. And it's exciting because... Again, maybe it'll push WWE to get better talent because if you remember, at the height of the Monday Night Wars was the Attitude Era. And that was WWE at its best because they had to compete. WWE hasn't had to compete for anything in the last 20 years.
Nope.
So if they have some competition from the indies, from a company that could be a significant threat maybe, who knows if the talent gets better. I think, honestly, Brock Lesnar goes back to the UFC after WrestleMania, but that's just my guess.
I think by then his suspension should be up.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody will beat him at WrestleMania.
Who knows?
Whether it's returning KO, could be a returning Roman Reigns.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I think Finn should have gotten that belt back. He never legit lost it. He got injured, had to relinquish it. So I think he kind of got hosed.
He got screwed. And I would be surprised if he stays around at the end of his contract.
Yep.
But let's move on.
All right. So the last two things we got to talk about. Men's and women's Rumble matches.
Let's go with the women's. Holy crap, that was crazy. And honestly, me and you were texting the whole time back and forth while watching this. And I remember sitting there thinking in my head, women's wrestling has come so freaking far.
Yep.
It was like, it came from the point of like oversexed, just virtually what you watch on a toilet break, just moving on. Like, women wrestling, I'm going to the bathroom. To being virtually might have stole the show. Let's be honest here. Who expected, again, the talent from NXT alone?
In both matches.
And then, again, the biggest part of the match, and for those of you that, this is a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen it, and if you've been living under a rock, go watch it. But Becky Lynch coming in, and as soon as she came out, what did I say? She's got it. Sure enough, Lana was injured. Lana hobbled out to the ring, and, you would have thought, man, she's really going hard. What's going on? Like, I didn't, but here comes Becky Lynch. You hear her music, and she's like, I want to go in. Let me go in. I need my chance.
She went out.
Boom. She went in there, kicked ass, won it.
Won the Rumble.
And after she got bodied and virtually on one leg, who saw that coming? I mean, dude, she's the man.
Hey, you don't call herself the man for nothing.
Yep. Yeah, so.
It's one thing I really did like was to see a lot of the NXT talent showcase, as opposed to veteran talent returning as surprise entrants. And with the exception of Double J Jeff Jarrett, there were no other veterans. It was all NXT.
Well, there's Kurt Angle, but of course he's on the show regularly. Yeah. But I was a little surprised because, watching Royal Rumble, you never know who's going to come back. But it did surprise me the fact that, like, not as many people showed up, actually. I was a little surprised. But I was really impressed by, definitely NXT. Aleister Black went out there. God, he's probably going to be my new favorite wrestler, honestly.
Likewise.
Wow. Like, again, a more athletic Undertaker, shorter by far, but a more youthful, more athletic Undertaker. I think he could be the next Phenom. But
matter of fact, I said that to you.
You did. That was what you said. Yeah. But there's a lot of guys in NXT that are going to be coming up, especially after WrestleMania that when they call up the guys, and I think it's going to be really exciting. I think the infuse of talent that's going to hopefully be going to Raw, because I think SmackDown's set. Yeah. The infuse of talent that's going to go to Raw, it's going to be through the roof. But again, at the end of the night, I called that match also too. It was Seth Rollins. I said before the match started, I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going with Seth Rollins. You doubted me at first.
The person I picked actually ended up getting eliminated right after I said it.
And then
I was like, well, shit, there that goes. And Seth, what did he do? He burned it down.
He burnt it down, and he went hard. I mean, he almost got destroyed. You thought he was out, but sure enough, he was back in, and he's going to WrestleMania.
And he's going to face Brock Lesnar.
He's going to face Brock Lesnar. I would have liked to see him take on Daniel Bryan. I don't know, something about it.
I would have too, but I really feel like they want that AJ Styles feud to continue.
I think they do. And I think, why not? It's a great feud. It's two great competitors, two of the best. Why not? You know what? I'm excited to see Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, whether Seth Rollins wins or not. He does have a win over Brock Lesnar, though.
He does.
Well, not necessarily Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar get pinned, but at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, cashed in Money in the Bank, won the title, boom. So, I'm excited. This is the first stop on the road to WrestleMania. We're going to be covering this every single month leading up to it, and multiple episodes in between, getting you caught up, you know, keeping you updated. I'm excited to have my brother back on the table, man. Oh my God, I'm excited. It's almost WrestleMania season. Well, it is WrestleMania season. It's almost WrestleMania.
Next up, Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. Yeah, and the women's tag team titles.
Finally.
Which this man has written 2 articles. A new article will be going up by the end of the week. And actually, it should probably be up tomorrow, which would be Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be up so you can read that, stay updated. He's our resident WWE analyst. I'm excited to have him on the table. Whether you're watching on thisislitTube.com or YouTube.com, stay tuned. We got so much more for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care. We're back on Let's for that. Fuck it. Take it from the top. Jesus Christ.
Taking it from the top. Take 2.